Welcome back. Contrary to other reports, the St. Lucia Workers Credit Union assures its valued members no robbery occurred on its premises. Rather, like a scene from a banned movie, a female member was allegedly coerced into taking money from her credit union account from an aggressor. However, the observant nature of staff from the St. Lucia Workers Credit Union, coupled with a quick note from the victim and speedy response from the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, they were able to curtail an involuntary withdrawal. Solange Alfred has that report.
The St. Lucia Workers Credit Union took a step towards assisting a member in need on Tuesday, 2nd July at their Gablewoods office. Secretary of the St. Lucia Workers Credit Union, Mitchelson Phillips, says a woman in distress reached out to one of the organization's employees and through swift action, a case of forced withdrawal of money was stopped in its tracks.
Let me make it clear to the public out there, there was no robbery at the St. Lucia Workers Credit Union. In getting to the scene, we realized that it was a domestic fracas, domestic violence, basically we could call, because the lady was claiming that she was forced to come to the credit union to collect funds, which she did not want to do. So she was frightened for her life, so she decided to have us call the police for her. The police did respond very quickly and with strong force because of the incidents that have taken place around this area.
Phillips praised the swift response of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, saying over the years the union has sought to strengthen the relationship with the police to ensure safety of all its members.
We've been building a relationship with the police force, especially we also have our staff members who are being trained to basically look out for such individuals and know what to do in such an incident do come up. We've had, and also at St. Lucia Workers Credit Union, we also have policemen who are actually members of St. Lucia Workers Credit Union. And of course, this is the interest of their friends and members as well, so they would try their best to secure their interests at St. Lucia Workers Credit Union. And we really want to commend the Royal St. Lucia Police Force for their swift response.
Phillips says the St. Lucia Workers Credit Union continued effort to protect all its members falls directly in line with its mission of having all its members feel a sense of belonging.
Our efforts to protect our members is important because if you as a member walk into the credit union and know somebody is actually forcing you to do something which you're not willing to do, we at St. Lucia Workers Credit Union, we try our best to assist. We are one, we are all together, right? So it goes basically one member, one vote. So everybody's together at St. Lucia Workers Credit Union. There is no separation. Everybody have the equal rights at St. Lucia Workers Credit Union, and that is what we want to strive on.
St. Lucia Workers Credit Union Secretary says this is the first time such an incident has occurred involving coercion of a member to withdraw funds from the credit union. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solange Alfred.
Meanwhile, one representative of the National Workers Union has given an update on progress being made at different negotiating tables.
The NWU is in the process of signing off on a number of collective agreements we have with our employer partners over the next couple of weeks. So we have signed off on the Blue Waters and Food Express collective agreements. The workers in both instances will benefit from a regime of fringe benefits along with wage adjustments. They have also benefited from the retro pay that would have been attributed to the wage adjustments that we negotiated on their behalf. We're also in the process of signing off on collective agreements for two of our employer partners in the South. That would be Icon Security Services and Goddard Catering Limited. Icon will sign off on Friday, and we're trying to arrange for Goddard Catering sometime next week. In both instances, workers will benefit from wage adjustments and also from a regime of fringe benefits.
In academic news, campus can oftentimes give freshmen a serious reality check to ensure that students looking to further their education are up to speed with the nuances of tertiary education. A college readiness symposium was held at the Finance Administrative Center on Wednesday, July 3rd, where everything from finance to time management were discussed.
Organized by the Ministry of Education, the College Readiness Symposium, held at the Finance Administrative Center, hosted students and members of the general public to learn more about the ins and outs of tertiary level education. Sir Arthur Lewis Community College Communications Specialist Natalie Jolie Fannis says the participants were briefed on life at SALCC as well as universities abroad, with hopes of assisting with a smooth transition into college life.
Today, the college will speak to the bursary students from the ministry directly about what life at Sir Arthur Lewis is, because it is a transition from secondary school to the college, to the community college, both in terms of the academic work, in terms of their social life, in terms of their personal development, how they manage time, etc. Part of the presentation will be done by our resident counselor, and it will really benefit all of the students who are going to university life, because she will speak to really being ready for that level of education.
Jolie Fannis says the symposium is an essential component for students to fully understand the movement into higher education. She highlights one major change awaiting tertiary level goers is the level of independence allotted at college and university level.
The reality of college life is that it's for adults, young adults, but there's a level of independence that you must have in order to be ready. So one of the things that the students have to understand is that they are responsible for managing themselves entirely, managing their time, managing their study, even sometimes managing finances, particularly those who are going abroad. So just to open their eyes to that, to make them understand that it is totally their responsibility, that in these cases not even their parents can intervene. It's actually not legal for universities and colleges to communicate with parents. So these little things they may not even be aware of. So just to make them understand the level of responsibility that they will now have as young adults for their education and really for their life from this point on.
Furthermore, Jolie Fannis says a comprehensive breakdown into financial management will feature prominently at the symposium, with representatives from Bank of St. Lucia and the St. Lucia Civil Service Cooperative Credit Union all down to deliver presentations to the participating youth.
For a student leaving the country and going to university, they are totally and completely responsible for how they manage their finances. One of the things that we advise is that your tuition money is kept separately from the rest of your funds. So whether it's your lending institution can pay that directly to the university, so that does not go through the students. So at least they're guaranteed that that is secure, that their tuition is paid and secure.
College and university student testimonials were also a part of the proceedings to provide the students with first-hand accounts of what to expect with tertiary education. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solange Alfred.
Establishing a love for reading starts at an early age. The Central Library on Wednesday, July 3rd at the Derek Walcott Square spearheaded a reading initiative geared at fostering a love for reading. Organizers say the initiative is one that serves to battle against the heavy influence of video games and technology, which oftentimes push reading to the background where youth are concerned.
Bright young minds were captivated at the Derek Walcott Square, which played host to students from various primary schools from the Castries Basin, excited to engage with reading mentors and hear intriguing stories. The students were entertained by way of a speed reading event, where under each tent, a new reading mentor awaited the students to enthrall their minds with a fascinating story from a chosen book. Library Assistant Central Library Judith Justin says the event, dubbed Reading Extravaganza 2019, is one that looks to instill a love for reading into the youth.
What we're trying to do actually is get students into reading. We know a lot of students, they don't like reading and they kind of shy away from, they prefer playing on the games and whatever, having fun, running around and whatever it is. However, we want them to feel like reading is fun. So this is why we incorporated a whole lot of fun. We have our hype MC Solange, we have our sound system, we have music going on, we have the bouncing castle over there, we have slides, we have Lucky Deep. We're actually having competitions where students read and they could actually read something. And this is what today is about.
Justin says the reading initiative looks to foster peer-to-peer learning, with secondary school students being invited to read to the younger students.
We've also invited other students from the secondary school. As you see, some convent students are here, and these students, they they're also here to read to our younger students because they're into reading, they're passionate about reading, and they did really well at Common Entrance. Okay, and we invited them as well to take part and to read to our students as well. They'll be performing a few pieces on stage later on. And, we just want students to feel how hype reading can make you feel. It's not just about sitting in a corner and reading. It's about reading with fun and getting excited and, getting into other places while you're reading.
The reading mentors came from all walks of life, from book authors to journalists and even police women. Organizers say this successful showing for Reading Extravaganza 2019 will prompt a continued effort to host the event come next year. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solange Alfred.
You are watching the Hot 7 Nightly News. We'll be right back after this.